Hello, and welcome back to the Cooper Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Tommy Lazaridis and Noah Fisher to discuss Everton versus Aston Villa from back on Sunday. Yep, it was an away point. 2 points dropped to a lot of people, or a good away point to some others. We'll discuss that and much more after this. Okay, yeah, so we were away at Goodison Park. It was Everton with the hosts, and they were coming off a bit of a bad run after they'd picked up their points to their 4 wins in a row to get over their deduction of 10 points. Villa, on the other hand, we were coming off the win against Burnley, but we hadn't been playing the best. And I'll go to you, Tommy, because I think there was a lot of people online who were frustrated with this result, and I can understand that to a certain point of view. But I thought there were some positives in the performance, the way we knocked the ball around, the way we dominated the game. We just didn't have that final pass or that final finish.
Yeah, and that being said, I actually think the goal should have stood. No, which one it is? Should have stood.
Okay.
I'm probably being a little bit biased, but I think I've been hearing if it's under 4 minutes, it should be clear and obvious or whatever it is. This was way out of 4 minutes, so the decision should have stood to leave the goal. I mean, we can't spend 15, 20 minutes trying to really, calculate it down to the nearest decimal, right? So yeah,
it did take too long. I mean, it was quite obvious that it was offside early in the replays. I don't know what they were really looking at. But it was offside, right?
Look, it was offside, but if it's going to take that long to figure out, it must have been, maybe a hairline difference, given it took that long to investigate. And if it is that, then the decision should have stood. I think there needs to be like a timer brought in for VAR. It's ridiculous. You've got a room of so-called professionals, probably some ex-refs. It's not like they're just hiring people off the street who'd probably do a better job, to be honest, because they're not as biased. So yeah, I think that, obviously that was a bit of a sucker punch because I actually thought we'd still go on to win it. I mean, Durand could have pinched it at the death. Was it Cash's chance as well, right? So we had some great chances. The football we played was brilliant. I think we looked awesome. We really missed Kamara. I mean, he looked awesome on the pitch, and he's looked awesome for us the last couple games since his return. And like I said, frustrating. I had a feeling you'd say something like, I thought Everton played well. And Everton is not an easy team to go and win against right now. I remember they were deducted points, and I think there's some further sanctions coming their way now. There's a second wave about to hit them. So Everton have been playing well. They're a team in form. I actually thought when they brought on McNeil and the other fella, was it G'day, whatever his name is, I actually thought, we're pretty lucky that I don't think they started their strongest lineup. McNeil's been a bit of a menace. I think he had some injury, but Goodison Park is not an easy place to go and get a point, let alone 3. So I'll take it. I think this probably just level sets a lot of things now. Go back a month ago, we're in a title race. Everyone's posting their bloody sports bets, And I think this is just level set everyone. I did see a meme, actually. It was like a car, and it was like the EPL top 4, and it was like everyone except Villa singing, and Villa's just like, it's like we're just happy to be there.
That's it.
So I think now top 4 is realistic. I think, we're quite fortunate. Spurs and a few others drop points as well. So there's still a bit of a buffer. But on to the next. Like I said, it was a great performance. Just the points weren't there.
Yeah, I mean, Man United and Spurs drew, which was a good result for us. Newcastle got beat, which was, City went ahead of us, but I don't think we're in a league with City, Noah. We're in a league with the likes of Newcastle, United, Spurs. Yeah, maybe Brighton, maybe Chelsea if they somehow got their act together. But I can't see it either, Tommy. So yeah, I think the fact that we got the away point, it's not a disaster. The only chances Everton really created was that one attack where Emi Martinez makes those 2 brilliant saves, and apart from that, they didn't cause as many problems at all.
No, not at all. And as you said, we spoke about it a fair bit on the podcast that were we actually in a title race? And I think the main thing everyone says, we're just happy to be where we are. Yeah. And 3rd in the Premier League in the middle of January, and I'm still absolutely buzzing with how the season's going, Scott. And yeah, if we got offered this earlier in the season, I think 100% of Villa fans would have said yes. if you offer them third on what are we now, the 17th of January, everyone would have taken it. But expectations versus what could have been, I guess, tampers that a little bit. But
Yeah.
going on to the game, Unai Emery's first 0-0 draw in the Premier League. I know it's probably something we have to mention as well. Very surprising. 97 games without a 0-0 draw, which is quite remarkable.
For Arsenal as well, not just Villa.
Exactly.
And it's a clean sheet. Sorry, no, it's like let's not forget that it is a clean sheet. All the defenders, including Emery, probably got their little bonus bump, right?
Yeah, and our second clean sheet in a row after the Middlesbrough win in the cup.
True.
So
confidence is the key. It's key for us, and keeping clean sheets should become a thing that we do regularly. I know that was Emmy's first season at Villa. He almost got the clean sheet record.
Yes.
And look how far we've come from that situation. So it's quite remarkable. And then you go back to that the first save from Calvert-Lewin. There's a screenshot of when Calvert-Lewin's running in on goal, and you look at Martinez, he has his back to him.
I know, he's running back. He was
ridiculous.
out of his goal, I think.
But the way that he knew that he had the time to turn his back and I'm gonna be in good position anyway. Just proves how class he is. So yeah.
And those one-on-one chances are very much mind games, and that's what Emmy is a lead at. He did it, the famous one in the World Cup final against Colomani, kept Argentina in the match in the last minute of extra time, he's done it again here, just staying big, not committing himself, because very often the striker wants to see the keeper kind of go one way or the other, and then he'll go the other side. He just stays big, and it was just a magnificent save. And the second one, Garner, I think it was, that had the shot. That was a great save too, because he just made that save, got back up, and that save was actually behind him. The second one.
I was going to say, I think that's a better save in some degrees.
He makes it look easy, which is the funny thing, right?
I know. I mean, he is elite. He is, in terms of the best in his position, he is our best player. Easily. There isn't many goalkeepers in the world better than him, if any. I still think the guys like Kamara, Louise, Watkins are probably more important to us in the grand scheme of things, but he is absolutely epic. I love Emmy. And that was a huge double save.
And to think he cost us, was it £16 million? I think £17 million. It's that's got to be. I know John McGinn, we all talk about the £2.3 million, whatever it was, but since we've been promoted, I get Douglas Luiz as well, but those two are on par for our best money, bang for your buck.
Well,
money signings, I reckon.
Luiz had the buyback. I think he was a prospect. But I think Emmy was kind of shunned out by Arsenal. They didn't want him, right?
Yeah.
And, kind of look at Emmy's journey versus Louise. Louise's career hadn't begun. Emmy's, we didn't think he'd be hitting his prime at that age, right? You could have said he's almost washed up.
Dean Smith as well. These are all Dean Smith signings. All these guys
bring Dino back.
Watkins, Cash, Konsa, Louise, Martinez, all Bailey. And all these guys are now coming together under Emery and really performing well. So you got to say well done to Smith.
Steve Bruce, we'll give Brucey credit for McGinn.
Yeah.
You got to.
Hey, Mr. Cabbage.
But I just find it so remarkable. You look at that starting 11 from Sunday, and there is one player in that team, I think, that started.
McGinn.
No, that Emery signed. Was another? Diaby start as well.
Moreno was his signing.
So there's two.
Yeah.
There's Diaby.
Three, Carlos as well.
No, Carlos was Gerrard.
Carlos
of course it was.
Gerrard.
Yeah.
Then there might have been two. Longley, yeah.
But he's on loan, right?
Yeah. I actually thought he had a pretty good game, and I didn't know he can play a forward pass like he did. I thought he looked pretty good.
Good player.
Him and Carlos were. I think I put Carlos in my votes, but I didn't put Longley. But it was very close because I thought they were outstanding. I gave Moreno 3 votes. I thought he looked awesome, and defensively he really cut them down. Harrison's not an easy player to keep at bay. A lot of energy, very electric.
Someone that we almost signed too, by the way. So
actually, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say like someone that we were linked with. It would have been
Yeah, agreed. I would have loved him
just
to be
for
honest.
him to score against us, but wasn't to be for him.
I think he's a great player, and I think he could have been a makeshift left back if we needed someone to play there. You know, not that we don't love Digne, but I think I don't know, I think he may be on the way out. I think it's more FFP related. I'm not saying we're in the mix of that, but you know, he's the highest earner. I think we can definitely shell that money out to someone maybe up front, whoever it is.
So
I just want to
Tommy,
quickly just
okay.
go on.
No, I was just
On
gonna
a quick shout out.
go
Just a quick
for
shout.
it.
I'm gonna hog on for a sec. I got my mate Samuel. He's tuning in on Spotify tonight. So Sammy, sign up to YouTube. We always welcome more subs. Sammy's a big Detroit Lions fan, and they're kind of having a Villa-esque year in the NFL.
Nice.
They haven't won in all these years, and now they're through to the playoffs, whatever it is. And he goes, Tom, he goes, I saw the EPL. He goes, like, I knew Villa were doing well because, like, you were sitting second, whatever, you're in the top three. I go, yeah, like, we're actually in the mix, and then, you know, just a couple unfavorable results. But I said, we're in there, we're still up there, we're competing and fighting. He goes, it's unreal, right? Our teams that have sucked for years, Detroit, whatever Villa are, times 10 worse, right? He goes, and now they're both having a bit of success. I said, well, we're not just having a one-off Cinderella run. I said, we're actually trying to set ourselves up for long-term success and sustainability, right? There you go. So he's followed our answer too. So Sammy, thank you for the love. Good to see my mates getting in on it.
Nice.
Awesome. Sorry, Scott, you did have a question.
No worries. I said, no, thanks for all the new subs, Sammy, and make sure everyone, you talk to your friends and make sure you get us, give us a like and a subscribe.
Muhammad Adam, get all of Norway in it. Come on. We welcome all the
he was actually at the game, Muhammad Adam.
There you go, Muhammad Adam, inshallah.
Yeah, let us know how that went, Muhammad, because
he actually he sent the Instagram page some messages. So I could read him out if you'd like. If you would like me to.
If you want to read it out,
go for it.
So he first sent me a really good, he obviously went to Goodison Park a bit early. So he sent me this lovely photo because every game they put the shirts that Everton are playing.
Yeah.
And then said, we struggled to break them down and the ref was a joke. All the Everton fans are happy with the point and it just shows how respected we have become. That's a very fair point. True.
But what I was going to talk to you about, Tommy, was the big thing I saw floating around was a lot of people are saying that the teams have worked this out now. This is the big sort of theme going around that Villa have lost their mojo. The rest of the league have sort of figured out Unai Emery's high line and sort of passing, build up play and how to break that down. And Everton did it quite well. But I personally disagree. I don't think they, I thought this was a great performance and that we just didn't have the final bit in the final third. So what are you thinking?
Sounds weird, but I think the front third's always been our lack. I think our midfield's pretty established now. Kamara, we probably do need some really good reinforcements because we realize how much we really need Kamara. It would have been a different ball game if he had played those 3 games he was suspended.
Yes.
I think if we just get another lethal forward along, like I said, Ollie's great. I know he's hitting the form. He's having a purple patch. I think just having a consistent lethal forward next to him, because if you can play Bailey, Diaby, Watkins, I think we need an out-and-out forward. I think Diaby's kind of drifted off. I know he's good, but I think Bailey's outshone him. I don't know why, but I thought it'd be the opposite. And yeah, look, to be honest, Scott, other teams are going to figure out there's times it's going to go well, there's times it's not going to go well. I think more times than not, like 60 to 70% of the time, it's in our favour. And the fact that we can even pull it off 50% of the time, there is going to be a bit of leakage. But I have full faith in the great Emi Martinez, who can run with his back to goal.
Absolutely. And I think, Emery has the plan. We look like we're going forward. You can see what we're trying to do as a team when we have the ball. It's very about the sort of the patient build up, bringing out Everton on the weekend, making them press us and then passing them around, getting in those little half spaces with the likes of McGinn and Diaby loves to sort of get in those spots. And then it just wasn't really happening in the final third. And I think one of the criticisms going around for the weekend was bringing off Diaby and Bailey at the same time, Noah. And maybe those subs didn't really work.
Yeah, I would have kept one of them on. I think that they just add that rapid pace. I know it was 60 odd minutes, 70 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
I still think they still have more pace than anyone on that field. They're so quick even when they're tired. So I was a bit surprised by it. I thought one of them needed to finish the game out. That's
I
probably
think
what I'd
Diaby's
take from
brain
that.
as well. Diaby's got the brain. I don't know why we didn't leave him on. And
Yeah.
actually, speaking of which, we I don't know if we'll make an mention. What about the penalty? Right now,
Mm.
he did get clipped, but he didn't go down. I don't know why
Mhm.
that wasn't reviewed. And I actually think the ref didn't have control of the game at all.
Yeah, that was an interesting one because everyone like on social media was talking about the Tarkovsky challenge, and that was a ruthless sort of old school challenge, and it was pretty dangerous. But he did get the ball first and went through Diaby second. But the first one, if he goes down there, Diaby, I think that's 100%
Yeah,
given his penalty.
I agree.
And I mean, I've played
Luis
in
has a pretty good strike rate as well, so I would
yeah.
have backed him in for it.
And even in teams that I've played at sort of semis pro level, I've seen guys that would have gone crazy at halftime or at full time at the player for not going down in that situation. Like just saying, "What are you doing?" Like, you know, because I don't know. It's just the sort of the environment, especially with VAR these days. That you've got to kind of be smart. Like we saw John Duran do it against Burnley, and it was kind of soft, but he sold it. He sold it to the ref that one, and it was given. And if it's given on the field, you need serious evidence to overturn it. And it wouldn't have been overturned because there was contact.
I 100% agree with that. And watching it, obviously, live, I thought, oh, geez, there's contact there. And then all the focus went on the Tarkovsky one, which I didn't quite understand why. But again, that's football. I think, as you said, Scott, if it's given, it stays with the original decision. It wasn't given, we move on. We still had other chances in the game that decide the game later on. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think-
Duran was at the heart of some of those late chances.
He really impressed me, Scott, when he came on.
Mm.
I thought
Really?
he did really well. I thought he was
I
really
thought the
good.
opposite, to be honest. I think he's just erratic with some of his shots.
I thought he added something for us in the game, to be honest.
He's certainly erratic.
Nah.
Like
He's erratic. That shot that he plays over the bar.
He's raw. He's erratic, but he does kind of make things happen. He kind of maybe like a Darwin Núñez, for Liverpool. Okay, he can look like kind of silly sometimes, but he's got self-confidence. You got to give him that. And sometimes, in a game where like Ollie wasn't really having much of an impact, I think he did
Ollie
pretty
should have
well.
come, but Ollie should have come off. I don't like Ollie and Duran. I don't think actually work well together at all. It's one or the other. And Ollie needs to know that like everyone can be sub. Like Bailey's accepted his position. Why can't Ollie? Right? If you're having a stinker, just all right. You'll start the next one, Ollie. Just give someone else a fresh chance. If you get 3 points, it's all right. It's a collective win.
I guess it's like though, Ollie has got a few late goals this year, including Brentford.
Yeah, I know Brentford. Yeah.
Bournemouth. Yeah. So maybe that was the thinking.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, I think at that point we could have just thrown on pretty much everyone. Like maybe take off a John McGinn or a Douglas Luiz or go to three at the back.
Take off a centre back. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know, man.
And
when's Powell back? When's Torres back?
Yeah,
well,
that's
that
a
was
good point.
interesting because I thought he was meant to be available, and then Jacob Ramsey was out as well. So,
they're not good signs because those two particular their injuries seem to just keep going. They come back for a couple of games and then they're out again. So
now it's on and off.
Yeah, and they're not good signs because we need them to completely up and firing because they give us something a bit different. Ramsey gives us.
I'll take my hat off to Carlos though, Scotty.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think he's been very durable. I think he's really improved this season. It's not easy coming back from his injury that he did. And then I think he re-aggravated it down the track, didn't he?
Yep. And, he's, the first few games where he was starting, he looked a little bit dicey at times. Yeah, but he's really come on. And I think Longlay's done the same as well in the last couple of games. Like, about a month ago, people were thinking, oh, we don't want Longley on the field. But now, I'm fairly confident that he's going to do a job. And we've got 2 clean sheets in a row. But this next league match against Newcastle on the 30th is absolutely huge.
At home?
Massive.
Because we lost them away,
Yeah, so that's a 6-pointer if I've ever seen one. We've got Chelsea, of course, in the 4th round of the Cup. just a few days before that. So that's our next game. But we've got a 10-day break pretty much between
The
games.
winter break.
Yeah, this weird winter break split round sort of a deal. It's a bit strange to get your head around, but hopefully it does us some favors. We get some players back. We get a few guys with niggles, can sort of get over it, and we can come back firing in those two games because they're huge games. I mean, Chelsea, we got 6,000 away fans for that one. That sold out in 15 minutes. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's gonna be a good atmosphere at Stamford Bridge. And you know what? If we can get through to through that fourth round match, we got a really good chance of going far in the FA Cup. We've also got some news around the transfers. We bought this young guy from the Red Star Belgrade. What's his name again, Tommy?
Radelkovic or something like that. 9 million euros for an 18-year-old right back. He does look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He's a good tackler. He's pretty rapid. So we'll see if he slots straight in. Who knows?
I've just seen a few YouTube clips of him, to be honest. And look, Tonev looked pretty good in the YouTube clips. So you got to, you can't take a lot from that.
Look, I'm backing Monchi and Unai.
Yeah, me too. And he's probably one for the future, but we'll have to see what happens there. Looks like Noah's having a few technical issues.
The last fullback they signed in Alex Moreno, yeah, he's probably a little bit more mature, but he's turned out pretty good. So I'm going to back this signing as well, Scott.
100%. Yeah, I mean, if he's as good as Moreno, he'll be a great signing.
I saw some rumors floating around linked with Zaha and a few others. They seem to have died down.
Yeah, Zaha, Jonathan David, we spoke about last week as well.
Yes, I've called that last
one,
year.
Yeah, that one seems to always come up every transfer window, but it doesn't look like that'll be happening. And to be honest, it doesn't look like much will be happening. Like normally we do our business quite early. So yeah, maybe it's going to be a bit of a quiet summer, and there's been a lot of talk that we have to sell one of our best players. For FFP, I don't know how true that is because, I mean, I wouldn't think that we'd have to sell anyone. We've bought quite sensibly. We haven't really splashed the cash that much, and we've had a few big outs over the years, including Grealish. So, but if there was a big out of Ollie, Luis, Kamara, Emi Martinez, if we had to sell one of them, who would you prefer we sold? That's
easy. Jacob Ramsey. We get about 60 mil for him. Honestly, that's the logical one a lot of people picked.
Okay, maybe, but what about the four that I threw forward? Like
that's what I was going on.
If we had to sell like an 80, 90, 100 million player, they're probably the only four.
I think this is coming because of the pressure on Forest and Everton again.
Yes.
Obviously, they're taking it very strict unless you're Manchester City. Of
course, they've set a date with the Manchester
someone
City.
said I can think of 116 reasons why.
I think if I had to pick one of those ones, I would pick Ollie.
I think I'd pick Ollie. Yeah, you'd get around 80 million. You can get a pretty good forward for close to that money.
I just don't think we can replace Martinez, Luis, or Kamara. But I think we could go buy a striker.
If you sell Luis and Kamara, you got to sell both as a package, right? Like it'd either be Ollie or Luis. I think, to be honest,
I think it would. I probably would say Emi Martinez, but just because.
Fuck with. What's wrong with you?
Just because a goalkeeper is a goalkeeper in the end of the day. I know they're very.
No, we're not.
Actually, you could sell Martinez and either go sign Jan Sommer or Yasin Bono.
That's it. There's plenty of good keepers out there. I mean, look at what Spurs did with Vicario, right? They got this guy no one had heard of. He plays for Empoli in Serie A, and now he's Italian international and one of the best keepers in the league. I think that's harder to do with a centre forward or a centre midfield player, but I would hate to lose all of them, obviously.
I'd sell Ollie and bring in Jonathan David for about 45. So
you said that for 2 seasons.
Well, you know what? The transfer pages are linking us with it.
I think you said it on your first podcast.
There you
No, it
go.
wasn't the first one. It was
Yeah,
about mid last
thanks.
year. I did find it actually. I think it was early last year.
All right. Well,
But
I think, it was a pretty boring game. It was a bit disappointing to drop the 2 points, but, I think there are
Fuck, boy.
positives. I don't think we should be down the dumps. We should be looking at the bigger picture and in our little mini league of teams that we have to stay ahead of
The
to
massive
secure
game.
Champions League football. It was a good weekend. We got the away point. We're back at home at Villa Park, the fortress in the league again, but we've got the away cup match first. Should we do predictions for that one? Chelsea away.
Do both of them, just in case.
Well, I think we can. I think we maybe do a quiz or something maybe next week. Or
I like it. I like it.
So we'll come back.
I like it.
We'll come back and do a.
Just
a
don't
little
promise the
transfer.
fans something that you might not be able to produce.
Look,
is it on or not? Is it on or not?
I'm down. So if you
Tommy,
guys
you ready to lose?
Sounds-
You ready to lose,
like
Tommy?
we've got a quiz. Noah, it's going to be math related and around Antalya sport. I'm ready.
Yeah, maybe we can get some a special guest in as well. But let's do the Chelsea predictions away in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Noah,
1-0 Villa.
1-0 Villa. Tommy,
1-0 Villa.
Villa on pens.
So it's going to go to a replay, and then we're going to beat him on pens.
Is there replays in the 4th round? Yeah.
Yeah, there's replays
Yeah.
up until the.
Yeah, I'll say 2-2 and a replay.
You guys are losers. Just back it in, yeah.
No.
So what's your actual result for the game, Tommy?
Yeah, I'll go 1-1.
1-1. Okay, so I've got
Yeah,
1-0.
no, I feel like yeah, like we're not really scoring high goals all of a sudden, and that mojo's kind of gone, and we're having 0-0 stalemate. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be like a 1-1. I don't think it'll be too exciting. And I think Chelsea also play boring fucking football. They'll have like 50 chances to bitch, they only convert. They'll bitch, then they only converted 1 or none.
I like
All
it.
right. Well, that's a good place to leave it. I mean, yeah, disappointing, but I think we're starting to find a few little things. Defensively strong. We got the midfield playing well. We had a lot of possession in this game, and we did dominate the game. We just couldn't really finish our dinner, unfortunately. But look, we'll be back next week. We'll do a quiz and we'll catch up on some transfers. Let us know in the comments how you feel about the Everton match. If you think the teams have found us out, is that true? I don't know. And any transfer speculation or thoughts you have, please let us know. Check us out on Spotify as well.
Or who you'd like us to bring in as well, right? Realistically, Jawad Brown. Just saying.
That would be pretty good. I'd take him.
Oh, mate.
But
Villa
look,
fan as well.
Yeah, why not? We should have got him when he came from Hull. But anyway, till next time, up the Villa, and we'll catch you next time.
Woo.
Later.